Speaking for 20 minutes on the concept of God in Christianity. Brothers and sisters, may we welcome Father Payappilly.
The chairperson, Dr. Muhammad Naik, Swamiji, Golokanada, respected Zakir Naik, Shree Abdul Rahman, the dignitaries in the dais, my dear sisters and brothers, I'm indeed extremely happy to join in this inter-religious dialogue organized by Salafi Learning and Research Center, Calicut, on the theme, Religion in the Right Perspective. I'll be speaking in three different parts. First, the approach of the Catholic Church to which I belong, the openness towards world religions. Secondly, I will be explaining the contemporary situation of the religion to put it in its true perspective. And thirdly, I will be discussing on the concept of God in the Bible and in Christianity. The Catholic Church to which I belong encourages and promotes inter-religious dialogue, cooperation, and collaboration. The official teaching authority of the Church promulgated a declaration on the relation of the Church to the world religions in the Second Vatican Ecumenical Council held in Rome in 1965, in which the Church opened the new frontiers in the ecumenical and inter-religious dialogue. We have a pontifical council for dialogue with world religions in Vatican, which encourages in-depth study of the world religions and is in constant contact with the leaders of world religions, especially Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism. The official declaration on the relation of the Church to the world religions at the very outset explain the origin and the purpose of religion. I quote, "Men look to the different religions for an answer to the unsolved riddles of human existence. The problems that weigh heavily on the hearts of men and women are the same today and in the ages past. What is man? What is meaning and purpose of life? What is upright behavior? And what is sinful? Where does pain and suffering originate? And what end does it serve? How can genuine happiness be found? What happens at death? What is judgment? What reward follows death? And finally, what is the ultimate mystery beyond the human explanation, which embraces our entire existence, from which we take our origin and towards which we tend?" The world religions endeavor by way of well-defined concepts and exact language to answer these questions. Then the declaration summarizes the teachings of major world religions, and I would like to pinpoint only on Hinduism and Islam. I quote again, "In Hinduism, men and women, of course, explore the divine mystery and express it both in the limitless riches of myths," and our Swamiji already explained, the Idihasas, Puranas, and accurately defined insights of philosophy, the Vedas, the Upanishads, and so on. Various categories of religions already explained by Swamiji. The followers of Hinduism seek release, moksha, from the trials of this present life by ascetical practices, the yamas, the niyamas, by profound meditation, dhyana, nididhyasana, the jnana marga, and request to God in confidence and love, the bhakti marga and the karma marga. The Church has a high regard for the Muslim brethren. They worship God who is one, living and subsistent, merciful and almighty, creator of heaven and earth, who has spoken to men through Nabis, to prophets, Adam, Nuh, Ibrahim, Yaqub, Yusuf, Musa, Dawood, Sulaiman, Yunus, Isa Nabi, Muhammad Nabi, and so on. They strive to submit themselves without reserve to the hidden decrees of God, just as Abraham submitted himself to God's plan, to whose faith Muslims eagerly link their own. Although not acknowledging him as God, they venerate Jesus as a prophet, his virgin mother. They also honor and even at times devoutly invoke. Finally, they await the day of judgment and reward of God following the resurrection of the dead. For this reason, they highly esteem an upright life and worship God especially by way of prayer, niskara, alms deeds, zakat, and fasting, especially during Ramzan. However, the Ecumenical Council of Bishops held in Rome admits the stand the Church took against Muslims in the bygone times. Over the centuries, many quarrels and dissensions have arisen between Christians and Muslims. The Sacred Council now pleads with all to forget the past and urges that a sincere effort be made to achieve mutual understanding for the benefit of all men and women. Let them together, Christians and Muslims, and all the believers, preserve and promote peace, liberty, social justice, and moral values. And this against this background of openness and respect of the Church towards world religion, I would like to rethink the role of religion in the right perspective. Basically, religion is the expression of the spiritual experience. Every religion evolves out of an intense experience of the encounter between the divine and human. The breakthrough of the divine spirit into human history finds concrete expression through culturally conditioned factors of human creativity. Since these factors have a rich variety, the self-revelation of the divine in human culture is articulated through diversity of religions. Thus we have the Semitic religions, the Judaism, the Christianity and Islam, the religions of India, Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism and Sikhism, the religion of China, Confucianism and Taoism, the religion of the former Persia, Zoroastrianism, or the religion of Japan, Shintoism. There are basically four areas in which the spiritual experience finds its articulation in every religion: the creed, the cult, the code, and the community. There are the channels through which spirituality evolves into religion. In other words, these form the four corner pillars of every religion, religious structure built on the foundation of spirituality. The creedal element or the deen of or the belief are the points of faith which the believers have to adhere to. Example in Christianity, the fundamentals of faith and belief in one God who is triune, the divinity of Christ. Christ is the Son of God. The acceptance of the Holy Bible as Word of God, revealed and inspired by God. The belief in the eternal reward of the just and the damnation of the unjust. Secondly, the cult. God is worshipped on the basis of grace of the core spiritual experience, which includes prayer, worship, liturgy, a feast, festivals, pilgrimages, and so on. The code describes the ethical norms, the moral and spiritual values enshrined in the Holy Scriptures, either in Qur'an or Bhagavad Gita or Vedas or Bible or the Guru Granth Sahib. So we have the Holy Scriptures in response to the demands of the primary God's experience. The love of God, the love of neighbor, unselfishness, forgiveness, compassion, empathy.